Yes?
Not yet.
Yes.
We're live?
Yes.
Okay. Good night to our PP family who is going to be watching our Christmas segment where we have two guests tonight besides myself and my deputy PRO. They've dressed us up all as Santa Claus elves. Hats and all. Unfortunately, the lights couldn't come on as we would have all been blinking, you know, with red stars tonight, but maybe next year. We have Sarah Nabi,
Hi, good night.
who is in charge of our social management. We have Felicia Hoda, our chairperson. And we are going to be looking at all the various interesting events that has occurred in Trinidad and Tobago for 2017, because the countdown has started for the end of 2017 going into 2018. So who would like to go first?
Well, all I have to say
Tony does.
Trinidad and Tobago again, welcome to the Frontline and our Christmas edition. And well, as you can see, the Santa thing is happening. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to all. But the New Year is not here just yet, so we're not going to talk about Happy New Year. Probably for next Thursday. But yes, like Janice said, we have two phenomenal guests tonight, our chairman and Sarah Nabi. I am so excited because there's so much that we have to talk about, because there was so much that happened this year. So, you know, I'm not even going to waste much time. And again, we extend great apologies for our late start today. We just had a little technical difficulty, but, you know, it's all sorted out now. So, hey, we're on. So, yeah, Janice, tell me.
All right, so let's start with, I made a list of things that occurred. And I think I want to first start with crime. Now, what I would like to find out is, how is crime being, in terms of statistics, how is that being managed? Because you know, you have suicide, you have actual crime where people are being robbed and killed by other people, right? You have, and then really there's those two types of crime. So right now we have a lot of robberies taking place. The latest one was in West Moorings, where they came in via the sea now, which tells me that they're getting even more innovative.
That's right.
In how they're going about robbing people and their homes.
Imagine they can use this innovation to a positive outcome. Imagine if they had an actual avenue to take this innovation, because I mean, we used to think of bandits as people who they didn't finish school or they have no
education.
Yeah, you're not educated.
Stereotypes.
So the easiest thing to do is go and just break into a house and steal, but to come in through the sea, that means you took some thought, you took some planning.
Rented a boat.
Rented a boat.
Who knows, you may have built it? You don't know.
Exactly.
It just seems like a movie plot. It's like, you swear this is something that we saw in a movie. They're just something, but actually, where I live, in the block of streets, there has been a series of robberies, like 4 to 5 robberies every day on a different street within a 2-block radius.
Wow.
So what they do is that they target one street, and you hear on one street corner there was about 4 or 5 robberies that day around lunchtime. So it's usually people who traveling, people who on their way to lunch or something, that spot, and then the next day you do it 2 streets away, 1 street away. So they're
and it's just getting closer.
Yeah. So we just fringe home by us and make sure we have our doors locked, or AC on, all windows up, because they're literally trying to jump in your car to get in to rob you. They just don't care.
It's really sad that we have to live like that. And it's I remember there was a release last week. I think it was the TTPS put out a release of how you can survive, or something along the lines of how to secure yourself from not getting robbed. And I mean, there was a little joke about it, well, next year, imagine what the headlines would be, and I made a joke and said how to fix your stab wounds if you do get robbed. But it's serious though, because when you consider the fact that we are conditioned now to know that around Christmas time,
Yes.
we are going to see a spike in robberies. It's very sad now though that the spike in robberies is being accompanied by a spike in murders. Before they would rob you and leave you.
Right.
Now they rob you and they kill you because you can be a material witness.
Right.
And it's like we know it's going to come, we know it's coming and it's here, it's happening, and police on the streets. So it's
tools to do proper investigations to lead to
loopholes in the system in itself, and on top of it, the police themselves again have no incentive to actually do the job. They're sitting on the side of the road with the lights flashing. All right, you're doing something. I mean, as far as true, real policing is concerned, how many of our officers are actually doing that? And in most cases, they simply don't have the tools in order to do proper policing. But again, the environment in itself makes no sense. We are talking, it's 55 years, it's 11 administrations. We are not new to this. So for us to be dealing with the problems we're dealing with, like you said just now, it's sad. I don't think it's sad, it's pathetic that Trinidadians have to live in the condition that we're living in. Because at the end of the day, again, third richest economy in the Western Hemisphere, really? So you're telling me if people are not able to go to America or go to Canada, the next option would be Trinidad. And guess what? We don't have no load of people trying to run to Trinidad simply because of it's chaos here. It's chaos.
Another thing too is, you know where the West Mall, the Falls of West Mall is? There is the crossover to the next side where there's a shed for people who would like to get taxis.
Right.
Yes.
And now you have staff members having to work until about 9 o'clock in the night.
Wow.
And there doesn't seem to be proper lighting in that area. One, several people have been robbed there already for the month, and there is no sort of even police patrol to ensure that people don't get robbed, because they know very well that police provide patrols in that area and nothing. And it's a lot of women.
And that goes to my point too, is like, number one, what is it about the business owners in terms of, let's hire a taxi for their employees to get into
At least in your town.
Yes, exactly, to get you into town. Two, it reminds me of a post that I saw this morning where a mother is pleading her daughter to come back from the grocery from working last night and she's missing. So that ties in, and again it highlighted the continuous reports we get of missing women, and it ties into police because what we were saying earlier this year, how Cedros is the hub of trafficking,
Right.
and then the police, they themselves are being, that's the rumor that we heard, that they are the ones who actually participatory in this as well.
And it's not just the police arms of the or individuals within the police service, also in the customs, also in the Coast Guard. I mean, it's across the board. Across the board, there is not a body within government that is not tainted or affected in some way, form, or fashion where corruption or underhanded business is concerned. And this in itself is what needs to be fixed, because we have, like Philip says, dismantle everything, build from the ground up, all right? And on top of it, key element, proper training of our people.
Yeah.
That is the key, because again, you can't have customs and they're using draconian laws, they're using laws from outdated that is not really addressing our 21st century issues and problems, especially as an independent nation that is a narcotic hub, where you have all these drugs coming in and out, you have human trafficking, you have guns and ammunition coming in, and God knows what else, you know what I mean, because we don't know what the black market trade is that's happening really, that's even underlying that in itself, you know what I mean, where that part of crime and corruption is taking place. We truly don't know the depth of what we're actually dealing with, and it's why it has to be broken down to the ground and rebuilt. We have to have people professionally from around the world with models that work in other countries, fine-tune it to our demographics, to our people, to our economy, and fine tune a system where we can roll out systematically part by part, because you don't want to bring too much of a shock into the system. So at the end of the day, we have to be very cautious as to how we're rolling out these proposals, because at the end of the day, we don't want to create an even bigger problem, insisting on one direction and having neglect happening on another. You know what I mean? So this has to be well thought out in how we're going to do this. But at the end of the day, it's not this thing happen.
We are just adopting.
That's right.
And we always, and I keep saying, we make this look so hard.
Yeah.
They make it look so hard.
That's
It's not hard. It's not hard.
They try to, actually that's a propaganda to me in terms of that message. They try to make you believe it is hard, it is impossible. But when we say we need to undo and redo, it really is no joke, because what Tony is basically saying in terms of crime as a year in review is not a matter of mismanagement. We literally demystify this year to understand that it's really criminal management as opposed to government mismanagement. And once that balloon bursts, is that we can't go back anymore. And I mean, on second on the list that John is saying, apart from crime, is that it goes into poverty as well, because that's another symptom of the same problem that we have.
That's right. And well, go ahead.
Just now in Sarah, she mentioned the employers and why they can't get an Uber.
Yes.
Honestly, I started to break that down in so many different layers. One, I thought about the fact that I know, and I read actually, that businesses are not making as much money this Christmas because the recession and it hitting people hard. So I can't imagine them saying, let me fork out some money for an Uber. And I thought about I thought about that and that part of the country that's failing. I thought about the fact that why can't the employees get transportation that's safe and reliable? When I went to New York a couple of months ago, I remember I had to go to the mall by myself for the first time, and I saw a schedule that says a bus is leaving from in front of the mall at 6:35. And it drops you at your destination at, let's say, 7:50. Play fast, and I went to the mall. I didn't Trinidad, it was 6:30. I said, I have a little bit of time. Yeah. At 6:34, I watched that bus. And I had to wait another, but the good thing was that there's a schedule that says another bus comes at exactly 10 minutes after.
That's right. And it's on the money. It's always on the money.
You can bet the money that it's going to be on time, that it's going to take you to your destination. And I thought, why can't the employees have something where they know they're working and they know that they come off at 9 o'clock, at 9:15 there's a bus passing right in front of the mall that takes them to their destination at the closest point. I thought about that where our public system is failing. I thought about the poverty.
But you see, remember, when they have a bus, now you're going into Caranach area and you're going into town. So you have to cross the road to the bus stop that has no lighting to stand up and wait for the bus.
That's another sore point for me.
That is the thing. So yes, because I know that the buses have a schedule where they take you from one mall to the next, and there's a schedule that is out. So for those people who want to visit the mall and don't want to drive, they can actually use the bus and take them back to the bus terminal. But there's a schedule that you have to get your hands on. But the thing about it is that I understand totally about the buses, but if you don't have the areas where people are supposed to get the buses to get into town or even to go home to the Caranash area, then it's going to be a problem because it's not lit. You have the guys coming and robbing you at gunpoint, so they're not going to take a bus.
I was wondering why did PTSD not expand their service a little bit more. I mean, I know that there are buses that run to Caranach at certain times, but one of the reasons, the reason I purchased my vehicle was vehicles in the country right now because
Yep.
as a young woman, I don't think Sarah Nabi wants to leave here and jump in a maxi
No.
and travel.
Right. Right.
But why isn't there something a little bit more reliable, something, a network of public transportation throughout the country, and instead you have to rely on most times peakers working late
Yeah.
at night,
Yeah.
and those themselves are not safe.
That's right.
You could be targeted just as easily.
But apart from, transportation efficiency, we highlighted the fact that it is necessary for just citizens' safety.
exactly.
So it comes back down to citizens. They're not valued, they're not safe. The human trafficking, the murders. Look at that woman. She was failed. The system failed her because she signed and she made a report. We saw
Yeah,
the
the day
receipt.
from the day before.
Everybody.
Okay, that report.
Yeah, because when you it's a domestic matter. Matters in the private sphere should not be vented in the public, or people should. But you know what? From the time you make that step out of your domicile and you go and you ask for assistance, it becomes a state matter because you're a citizen and you're requesting help. So, and that is the responsibility of the state to its citizens. So you can never say that private matters are not public matters because all citizen matters, whether private or public, it falls under the state. Otherwise, we do not need a state.
No, but you hit the nail on the head. It is the state's responsibility. I mean, at the end of the day, we're paying all these taxes for what? To be living in mayhem, to have all these problems and issues that we're dealing with as a nation. Well, tell me this thing. You know what I mean? Why are we paying the taxes? What is the purpose of us as a citizenry in this country paying taxes for? In my mind, the model that we've adopted here in Trinidad, the democracy of this country entails that it is for a betterment of the population, of the people, and the people are the ones who are recognized first and foremost within our constitution. So we are the last being considered for the last 55 years, and the question is why? And why isn't it there has not been anyone within politics to present day, besides Mr. Alexander, that has ever really brought true address towards these issues and I remember they made the call. I went down there to the parliament, 200 people. I mean, really, is 1.3 million people in this country, and that was one day this country was supposed to shut down. And a man stood up next to me and said, "You see what I mean? Trinis like it so."
Yes.
Because if a man could come and dig out your eye, somebody you put in parliament to bring betterment for you, and looking at you and laughing, making jokes, saying, "Ha ha ha, well I raised it 3 times there, right? So we might raise it again," and making joke over that. Come now, man. Come now, man. You see, that really disturbed me. I have a problem with that. I do not like Mr. Imbert, and I say it in the public domain, Mr. Imbert, I don't like you simply because you show a side of you that, for me as a citizen, brother, you fail miserably. The entire cabinet, the entire party fail miserably. You understand? Because I thought that at the time when Kamala and the PP was in office, being a puppeteer, she was not calling the shots the way that she was supposed to. As a woman, being able to identify the social problems that we're dealing with, I mean, I would expect that greater from a woman versus a man. And yet, there was no major interest within fixing our bloody social problems, because if we can make a dent in our social issues in this country, guess what? We will be on the road of saving Trinidad and Tobago and saving the mentality of our population. But again, we like the shit, so, oh God, excuse me, I'm sorry, I mean, see, I'm going back with French, I mean.
I understand that we have a lot. Personally, we have a lot of, our own grievances and feelings in terms of how far less to produce something and to transmit something, to you. But I sure you all home on your couch, on your desk, you all just like grinding your teeth and, you just say it and you're nodding along with us because you all understand. at least I can say the viewers, our frontline, they understand exactly where we're coming from. And Tony hits a really critical point in terms of, and social management is my area. And that's where, PEP policies come in. And, our 5 pillars are food, healthcare, education and employment, housing and security. And the thing is, if these 5 things work, that is the dent that we need, to preserve the family, bring families back together. And once we bring families back together, if people have support, then it takes a lot less effort to go out there, and feel and they're empowered and they have a social system and a social system rather than you catching your tail in your apartment by yourself. You just living from bill to bill. I mean,
correct. And it's to truly show the people that change can happen. You see, people, the nation have not seen true attempts to bring change. They have not. Is why people, when they see new political parties and people trying to make a difference, they look at us and laugh, because at the end they are totally disenchanted. They have no desire to be involved or to consider anything political, because the political environment for this country for the last 55 years took the population for a bunch of jackasses. That's what the political body of this country have done for 55 years, because they're feeding us what they want us to feed us with. And we assimilated it. Yes, okay, fine. Well, if we go jam for Carnival and we go jam for Christmas and we go every holiday, emancipation, Trinidad is the only country in the world that has so many bloody holidays. Why? Why do we insist on having such high levels of inefficiency? Because you go to China, you don't see them having so many holidays. You go to America, they probably have 3 for the entire year. Many countries, see how many holidays they have, man. Why do we have a holiday just about every month? What is the purpose? Can't we create emancipation in their arrival and all these other ethnic or holidays that we want to segregate for people or for this group? Can't we create one bloody day that everybody can have a national holiday and everybody within their own sex or religion or what have you celebrate what they need to celebrate? We have to identify a particular day for each and everybody. So then if we have 365 holidays, we have no work taking place then. Is this what we're striving for?
Holidays have now become, it's less about the celebration.
It's about the line.
It's about the line, but think about it deeper too though. People look forward to holidays because it's an escape from...
Hold on.
No. I'm actually agreeing with you.
I know, but I've seen your spin on that.
Yeah, I'm saying...
the pressure release.
It's about the release, because what do you find when the holidays come? People buy the bar, they drinking, and what is the cause of that? Because people are not happy.
But again, that is the tool the government is using against the bloody people.
Exactly,
because you're giving them frustration, you throw a holiday, they want to drink, they want lime and balance their ass, and then they come to work drunk the next day. They don't come to work the next day.
Okay, look at how much productivity we have going on for these past few days. I mean, case in point, everybody knows. 8 to 4 government working on it. Are we there 8 to 4? You understand what I'm saying?
Correct.
How come if 3/4 of the country in the grocery, who in the office?
Correct.
You understand? And
Understand.
we all part and parcel of it. But again, as Felicia was saying, it's a good point that, it is the pressure release. And it is unfortunate. And it's also unfortunate that because we have these things, there are other sectors of society that take a lot.
I love what you just said, and again, we would have no need for pressure releases as such as all these bloody holidays and all the garbage that we're giving people. Correct, if things are fixed and we create community again, we bring the family back together, and even if we're having broken homes, at least to create an environment in a mental sense where people can have greater stability within the home. You understand? If we are creating an environment where people have greater spending power, and have value for money and getting the services that they need from the state that is due to them. Because we're paying bloody taxes at the end of the day. You go to any first world country, what are we running away from Trinidad for? Not for betterment, not to go America and England and these bloody places. Why? Because it's first world, there's accountability, the T's are crossed, the I's are dotted. there's laws that are enforced in these countries, and people stand and stick with the status quo as to what they need to do there. As soon as we get off the Caribbean Airlines plane, so why the hell it is we can't do it here in Trinidad? Why we can't create a system that the people are proud to follow the rules and regulations, because at the end of the day it's a greater benefit for you as a citizen, because you have something to gain, a better country, a better way of life, greater value, greater security for yourself, greater education, greater healthcare. I mean, it's a no-brainer. That is what the first world countries have locked, and it's why they're first world. I listened to Manny talking about what, the 2020 vision, and what happened to that? Look, we're two years away from the 2020 vision. Are we anywhere close to the first world status?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And all that was what? Smoke being blown up our rear ends? Supposed to say, yes, they're doing something. Yes, man, they're talking and like something will not take place. But how many years is it later? It's nearly 3 administrations gone, and we're nowhere even close of considering to be a first world country. And yet we're still wanting to jam so and go down the road and rail up the damn tail. Philip is bloody right. We're supposed to boycott Carnival. Boycott it. The artists, all these soca artists, they want to support the cause. Boycott them too. I am sorry. We have a country to fix, and all the jamming and whining down the place here. What? If you come like Venezuela, nobody ain't going to be jamming and whining no way, you know. All what we have for the coup parties. It ain't gonna have no coup parties, right? It ain't gonna have no coup parties. People not coming in here have a big screen TV and one half nothing. What will worth something is food for people to eat, to survive, to feed your children. That's what the importance of this country needs to be. Let's empower the farmers. Let's bring back our agriculture sector. Listen, Trinidad. I don't want to go crazy right now. You know what I mean?
I don't want to say recovering, but as a former masquerader, and I would say former, I don't know if I will, not in my present years. To me, what I'm doing here is much more important. I completely support you. My carnival looks bleak next year, which is such a change from what it was this year.
Before, yeah.
No, because. And I sometimes I think I look back on my you can look at your year in review on Facebook, and I see where I progressed from posting all these little funny memes and stuff to posting actual articles and making a statement. And I wondered to myself a little bit, am I too dismal? Am I too dark? Like, am I one of those people who uses Facebook and does not bring cheer to other people? So I posted something funny today, but just to tamper the previous post. Yeah. But I bottom line is I don't think so. I think Trinidad is at a place where we need to wake up, and it's not just hey, you want to wake up, things going bad. It's we really need to wake up. I'm 29 years old. Going on 30.
Is that all again? Ready?
No. That title belongs to me. I am older than you are, so don't try it.
I have my point is, I am bending the 30 corner, and I'm looking at all the things that people my age do, and I still try to try to have that balance, and I think, what do I want to see in the next couple of years? I think, it's all fun now to lime and party and drink and go out. I'm not saying that I'm cutting that out completely, but what am I doing to ensure that the next 5 years of my life is something that I can look forward to?
That's right. Trinidad and Tobago.
Achievements.
Understand something. You're out on your lineman and you party, right? Somebody breaks a light. Somebody driving drunk. Then mash you up while you're in your car. You land up in a hospital. You're in your 20s, so you think now is the time to party, but guess what? You're in a hospital bed. What do? All your money go on behind your costuming and all the things that you pay. Say you paid them for a house or whatever. You just had your big wedding blowout, so all your money gone, right? You're in a bed, right? You realize you don't have sheets. You realize it's a lot of fun.
Don't want to be in the hospital.
Right?
Oh,
That's one thing.
mess.
Exactly. It's like you have no medication. So whether or not you eat.
Sarah, backtrack. You got into the accident, you have to wait 2 hours for an ambulance. Go all the way back. All the way back. Because it's a series
Sorry,
of
my
things.
assumptions, you understand?
No, there's a series of things that shows along the way just how things are so broken in our country.
Correct.
And please don't wait, you understand, for the car to crash into you. That's what we keep saying the wolf will reach your door. It's only people whose wolves have hit them, they tend to cross over to thieves.
Yeah.
But the thing is, education and experience are two ways of learning. We are trying to have you skip the experience part, right? We're trying to get you to the point where it's education and empathy. If you can empathize, or call it good citizenship, Samaritanship, good neighborship, anything like that, any kinship, any feeling like that whatsoever, that would be the driving force for you to realize that something is wrong and that you have to look at alternatives. I mean, it kind of depressing. We have a long list there. I mean, we have
I want you to read out. I want you to read out.
All the things we have to discuss tonight.
We don't have to go into detail just yet, but listen to some of the key pointers that happened for 2017. And this is by your present-day administration. Take it away, Janice.
So the first one was crime. Then we're looking at poverty, impropriety of parliamentary members, a search for a COP, Chief of Police, a budget that upset the nation.
Very much.
Tobago boat ferry fiasco, NLCB, millions of dollars lost, NIB, money not to last beyond 2020, and they are going to have to start selling their assets, which are close to about $1 billion, I think it's 22 billion. THA money that was to pay Virgin Airlines gone missing, WASA building at 1 Alexandra Place, paying a rent of 600,000 plus and does not have a lease. Children of a senior parliamentarian shown with guns. Cuban dissidents removed from the streets of Port of Spain. Now, I would like to
No, wait. Go ahead. Let me get another
Scandal. CJ is accused of discussing with a matter of personal security for judges with someone who is not a judge, and that he had recommended 2 or more individuals for HDC accelerated housing grants. A conflict of interest matter with a senior parliamentarian renting a place from a top official at Petrotrin and who has appeared before the GSC. He did not make the relationship known, nor did he recuse himself. The list goes on and on. Then we have Emailgate, whereby Alwari recalls that it was in May 2013 that Rowley approached the Parliament and revealed the information which a whistleblower had provided and which he had taken to then President George Maxwell Richards in December 2012. The disrespect shown by a senior parliamentarian to a female member of the opposition with respect to breast milk and feeding her newborn baby. Now that was total disrespect. The throwing of garbage on the Beetham and scaring of citizens and damaging of vehicles. The multi-million-dollar heist at the airport. A mother of 8 children currently today living in a cow shed after her husband died and his family put her and the children out of the home. The young woman killed by her ex-boyfriend over visitation rights to his child. She had filed a report to the police who did nothing. Fake oil by a supplier to Petrotrin.
The mystery of the pitch leak.
Alright.
The mystery of the pit.
Yeah.
Wait, now you have more here?
It's not more, but that's one I can't forget.
Yeah.
Mystery of the pitch leak,
The
right.
mystery of where the money going for the pitch leak. Right? And then of course, protecting our children. All that's been going on.
Running that story.
Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
This is just 2017.
Our list.
Alright. We're now scratching the surface. This is the present administration happening on the ground here in Trinidad. What everyone on the island is saying that it's okay. we hear the EB saying that it's not okay.
And not only that, it's about, you know, we talk about transparency and good governance, and there doesn't seem to be, it's like the current government doesn't seem to think that transparency and good governance is supposed to be of importance, because every time something comes up, they do such a slow job on it.
They are the last people to want a level of transparency and accountability, because they are the ones that's hemorrhaging the economy, period.
Yes, but what I'm saying is, what I'm trying to point out is the fact that their followers who put them in the power, they are not opening their eyes to see what is going on.
Well,
and you know,
they're being pacified with the $200-300 that they get to come running down to a meeting and that sort of thing.
I'm going to say that as well. I think we have been, some people are being willfully blind. You see those who just, oh yeah, I'm keeping my tunnel vision on, I am PNM, I'm not going to see anything. But some people, I think they honestly don't know any better. And I think about the mountains that we have to climb in PEP, and one of the biggest mountains will be just getting through to people's minds, because they have this belief. Someone told me, having a Facebook discussion, and the person said, where we getting the money to fix social. And I thought about, you know, what the PEP advocates for, which is all that money that we're spending in national security. Let's fix things like home ownership and stuff like that. And it's just the mentality of the people. And then I also thought about the fact that we are the third wealthiest country in the Western Hemisphere. And when I told that to the person, he had no response, because because of how people live, how they have been forced to live, they don't know any better. They don't know that as much as I'm living paycheck to paycheck, I'm making $2,500 a month, my bills are $4,000 a month. They don't think that there is hope. They don't think that they have an opportunity. And the goal, one of the biggest mountains that the PEP has to climb in 2018 is going to be empowering even more people, because they need to know, even if the PEP does not get into office, which we will, they need to know that what they have now is not acceptable. We need to know that as much as I am living in poverty, as much as I am living in a cowshed, for God's sake, there is better. And it's so painful to listen to those stories, knowing that we are the freaking third wealthiest country in the. And that hurts me, because people like that, what they grow up in, what they know, they don't know any better. And how do we reach the people like that? And that is the goal of the Progressive Empowerment Party. We have to empower people.
No, I want to make mention of this, because you see, this is where the people get blinded. For instance, I was reading the papers, and there was a small little article that spoke to MTS, where it was being celebrated that they were able to finalize the union negotiations from 2011 to 2014. Now, you're talking about back pay, and you're talking about new figures in terms of salary having to be paid to the workers. You're doing this, and you have contractors, suppliers to your business, which is MTS, and they're not being paid.
That is horrible.
They're not being
and
paid.
MTS is a government.
It's a government, that's right. You know, and so now you've gone and approved, you know, with the unions, this additional money. So when are the people going to get their back pay one? And are they going to be paid all their money every month? Because what it is noticeable that the government is doing in the public sector, if you work a month and if you work overtime, you will only get the month's salary. You will not get the overtime
right away. Correct. Yeah.
It will take a month or two before you perhaps get that. So it means they're just filling holes every month. And then, of course, Mr. Alwari stands up in Parliament to say, well, you're lucky to get salaries this month. Hold on. You have to, you see, yes, we know he is not exactly the best role model.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is people need to wake up, because you can't be telling people, oh, you're lucky if you get your salary sometime in December. What it is you're trying to, what is the message you're trying to communicate?
There's 400 million approved for a damn highway going into nowhere.
Exactly.
Well, they just spent 37 million on 37 new fire stations.
They did what?
The fire engines, sorry. The vehicles, the fire engines, they spent 37 million.
On new fire engines.
Sorry, no, hold on. They spent 37 million, and it was quite a good bit of vehicles that they bought, they purchased. 37 million.
But you understand now why it is that when you hear $400 million for a highway, when you hear that
3 million for a golf course.
when you hear that the school feeding program hasn't been fed, then after feeding children, they haven't been paid, and you hear people in continuous union contract negotiations, people are being stifled, in their jobs, and literally held hostage. You understand now why there is resistance, from people, and say, what is the point of the highway? Where is the pitch lake money? We talk about money because money is at the end and the be-all for all of these things. It's continuous misallocation, right? Misappropriation, mismanagement of our money, and you need to understand that it is your money. 1962 we became independent, and I made the post today, discipline, production and tolerance, traits of a good slave. We stopped at tolerance, we didn't even get to respect, that has always pissed me off, from the time I learned vocab, and I was like, the question I always put back here, but when you're tired of discipline and production, we sound like an assembly line. But an assembly line for whom? And case in point, 2017, you see that there's this magical area, mythical land full of pitch lake that provides us with paved roads. We don't get the best quality pitch because from the time rain fall, you need to pull over because it's going to flood. Your tire is not getting proper traction. You will skid off the road at 50, if you're not careful, right? So somebody else getting our pitch. We're not getting the money. And then people who continuously live in poverty, government come, government go, they do not care because they are so continuously worried about making ends meet. They don't have time to care to ask questions.
And that's where we come in. We provide you with the information. So even if you have questions, we provide the answers.
And we answered one of those questions this week when people said, how can you build a house for $100,000?
For $100,000. Oh, I love that post. I love that post. I love it. And Trinidad and Tobago, look for it on the PPP. Is it on the PPP page?
Yes, it is.
Check it out on the PPP page. You want to know what a $100,000 house looks like? Check it out. And and let me tell you, it's just as good as any house that they're calling a $500,000 or $1 million house. It's just as good.
And
Take my word on it.
a cow shed, and people, people want to,
Like the ice cream houses. I like to call them the ice cream houses. Orange
the most
and
important
green.
thing is not a minimum wage, can pay mortgage in a house.
And the breakdown on that is
about $400.
around $400 or $500 per month. So, for example, if one individual is able to afford that, or you can compile it as two individuals, $250 a piece. I mean,
that's less money than you're spending and your nails and your week.
That's less money than the bank's taking from you with your fees and with your loans and all that.
This is it.
I am just so upset over this whole thing with the foreign currency, where you can only walk into the bank and get 100 US.
Let's not go with the foreign currency.
100 US, and listen,
Wow.
listen, if you need Canadian or pounds, you have to call them or go into them, and then they have to make a call now to their people in the bank to find out if they have money to give you. So it's like,
What
I don't
is that?
understand.
How could the government pay a Chinese or Brazilian company or whichever foreign company that comes on the ground here in Trinidad to do whatever major construction project, whatever mega project, and pay these people in our US dollars? They're not banking it here. It's leaving the country. It's going back to their own country. It's developing their own country, and then we as citizens now have to catch up to it. Me as many small business owners, medium-sized business owners, even big, large corporate-sized business owners who may not be part directly of the 1%ers, are all suffering for the lack of US funds, because everything you have to purchase, especially it's coming into the country, it's US dollars, you have to pay for it.
Anthony, and as you said that, it took me back to the whole carnival point. Remember, one of the reasons we marketed carnival as a tourist
Correct.
as a
Was
to bring in US.
Yeah.
But then when you look at the decline, and you can't deny that there has been a decline in foreign participation in carnival.
I would go even sweeter than that. I say forget carnival. Don't even look at the monetary value that carnival can bring. Our diamond in the rough is Tobago. If you want to talk about bringing foreign dollars to Trinidad and Tobago within the tourist industry, Tobago is it.
Now, I will tell you, I was listening to the radio the other day and a woman came on talking about yachties and the fact that they bring a lot, they spend the money when they come here. And how when Bill Gates came, because I didn't really believe that he came, I mean, all they do is showing a man in a cap and calling him Bill Gates, right? Somebody signs him Bill Gates. Could be anybody signs Bill Gates. I could be Julie Andrews and sign Julie Andrews.
I know you know those rules, but I'm going to sign you. Janice plays, does this role playing. I seriously need to talk to her husband. Just kidding.
And she was saying that when Bill Gates went across to Tobago, I think it was No Man's Land, and there's another one, he went to, and he blew his mind, the beauty of that spot. But what she was saying is that the issue with customs is what turns off the yachties. Because if you want to go from Trinidad to, let's say, to Charlottesville, for instance,
right,
you have to get a customs form. You're going from Charlottesville to another area in Tobago, you have to get another customs form. So come on. And she says we have such a lot of potential with yachting, and not only that, not just the small yachts, but the bigger. The Gates yacht was huge, right?
Bill Gates.
Correct. But she says she was saying on the radio that if only government would pay a little more attention to what the yachties can bring to Trinidad in terms of even foreign currency.
If only the government will pay attention to things that can actually bring other sources of revenue to the country.
That's right.
Well, that too.
Exactly.
It's simply to diversify the portfolio wide, large enough that encompasses just about everything that we can get an external source of foreign income coming into the country. It's that simple, because a little bit of crumbs, you're going to get a whole bloody cake by the end of the day. It's that simple. So instead of focusing like we've been doing for the last 55 years, stressing on this oil and gas situation, I mean, be real. We've seen so many times throughout our entire history where the price of oil and gas went up, it came down. We passed through a couple of recessions, for crying out loud, real recessions where the country really had no money. But again, we could have had money had we not hemorrhaged the economy the way that it was. Yes. But again, the PEP is brokering for us to eliminate that whole factor, that hemorrhaging situation happening with the economy. Listen, all the policies, all the proposals we're planning to roll out is addressing all of that.
I want to know as well what is happening with NIB, National Insurance. All those people who are getting their pension from NIS, right? They are saying that there's going to be no money beyond 2020.
But how is that even possible?
Well, because they lent out all the money, they're probably not getting back.
They're financing discotheques, but well, if that's the case, and they could have the ability to come in the public domain to say that, well, we're going to run out at 2020 to be able to finance the population. Do a bloody audit on the damn body, do a proper audit on NIB, and with a fine-tooth comb, know where monies was spent, what was invested for what, where was the returns, what the hell is going on?
Well, not just that, I think that the retirement age should be revised to 65 instead of 60.
Why do you say that?
Why? Because there are a lot of people out there who can still contribute.
No, they could contribute, but even though that it may be required that they have to be retired at 60, it still does not mean that we have to create a law where we stop them from being able to be employed or going out to
a
work.
lot of companies do not keep them on as permanent. They will let them go and then bring them back on contract.
Yeah, for the extra 5 years, I don't see a problem with that really.
If a man, for instance, is in his is let's say 61 to 62, and he has a child still in university, in terms of getting loans to support his child while who's maybe away, he will not get the money because the banks won't give him the money because he's not on contract.
So is have men out here fathering children at 62?
Yeah.
I mean, you realize that we are not drinking. This is water. I think we had some eggnog before. When the eggnog before.
But I mean, just having this task to do, you realize it scrambled our brains and it scrambled our hearts. And I mean, we're talking about is ad nauseum, but I think one of the messages that we wanted to put forward is that even if, you think that we're just trying to get votes here, because I mean, when we went and spoke, about our job initiative, that we started to just try and help people, get their foot in the door to land some interviews, to see once given the opportunity. We get accused of, just trying to buy people, with promises. And we're trying to show our PEP that we're not about delivering promises, but delivering services. And at least for 2018, even if you're not on the orange train yet, or the orange army, I say train, but I'm going to encourage it. Right? On the army, then at least consider civil responsibility. At least consider using your mind. Go ahead and question us. But the reason why all of us at PEP could have come and said, we on Team Orange is because we have plans, we have policies, we have programs, because we are literally made up of a lot of people who are working professionals and people with ideas, and we were stifled, and we have good hearts, and we wanted to do something with ourselves, and we just got this opportunity. So one of the major things, for the year in review was the birth of the PEP, right? And that's not something that that should be eclipsed by the causes for the creation of the PEP, let's say, right? I think that here we have a chairman, we have an executive, we have a full PR team. We have, some systems and teams that we're building out here that I think, coming to 2018, that's one of the things that you need to look at moving forward, So, I just wanted to put that out there for you before we go back into the melee of, what is 2017 and, what is our reality here, because one of the things that we were discussing, I wanted to bring up is Mr. Garcia, Minister Garcia. Understand our education minister is responsible for the future, because he is literally responsible for managing and overseeing how it is that we run our education system.
What did he say? What was his post? What did he say? For our president. He said
that you should allow kids to
it's part of growing up.
What is wrong with this?
And that's how men establish themselves.
That's correct, yes.
Because we are clearly living in the Stone Age.
Yeah, where you see a woman and you take up a big boat and you bash your head into it and say, come here.
That is how the streets were settled back before communication. You fight and you fight.
I'm wondering about Minister Garcia, because remember, someone had put a post up where they were in Parliament, and like a question was asked, and they went to each parliamentarian in front and a response. And when they came to Minister Garcia, he looked as though he was just not there. I mean, no eyes wide open, everything.
Janice, sometimes they're sleeping. Sometimes they fall asleep.
Well, I don't know if he was sleeping, because for somebody to come out No, because for somebody to come out and make a statement about fighting, right, and how it's good, right, something has to be wrong mentally.
Listen, man, it's
Drinking too much juice. Drinking too much of that juice.
clearly comes from an old school.
And I think that the cabinet should be looking at his behavior and that statement with some concerns, because their children are going to school, and I'm very sure
That was
that
a question of mine with Janice. Is he allowed to make statements? Like, I mean, I understand those are his personal views, but as a representation of the government, of cabinet, is he allowed to make statements like that?
No, I mean, if you look at our Prime Minister and you look at what he's talking about,
Well, yeah, I mean,
going back to
it's
leadership,
not like we have many
going back
shining
to
examples
exactly.
well, no, we don't. We don't. And if you look, and I keep saying, look at your parliamentary channel. You learn
Janice,
so
gonna have
much.
me watching that.
No, you get to see how they behave in
You
parliament.
just get there.
And also, you know what I'm really trying to push you all to? The point of watching the junior parliamentarians and how they behave in parliament. And you will see chalk and cheese. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be the young people who are going to be in parliament. And if what we have right now, they don't know how to behave in parliament, then they need to be fired.
But the question is, the same young parliamentarians that you talk about, yes, may have a forward way of thinking and have new ideas, but again, what is the influence that they are getting and from whom? Because if they're the junior parliamentarians...
no, there's a whole process that they have to go through before they do this whole thing of parliament. And they have to go and do their research on topics.
Right, but what I'm saying is, as far as conducting the parliamentary business, now remember, you learn that from someone you're getting that training from.
Right, and they have people that actually train them before they go and they do the whole parliamentary
Right,
call
but
the show.
I think what Tony is talking about is in terms of what are they aspiring to, you know, what is the mentorship, what is the
Are they going to be following a PNM doctrine? Are they following a UNC
No,
doctrine?
I don't get that impression, because remember, Parliament, and they actually go to the staff in Parliament to learn about how Parliament is run and how they can do the research. So it's not from a PNM or a UNC
Okay,
side.
all right.
It's strictly on how do you behave in Parliament. You are a representative, and this is the topics. I think they're given subject matter to talk about, because they have to do their research.
Well, we need a refresher course. From 2018.
Right. Well, as we are closing or coming down to the end of our segment, there are a couple housekeeping.
We literally ran out of time.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yes.
discuss.
So on behalf of the PEP family, I would like to wish everyone a happy holidays once again. Members to tell their friends and families that our employee screening for the Job Seekers Initiative and regular meetings, which is held every Saturday from 12 noon at 19 Stanmore Avenue, Port of Spain, will continue on
January 6th.
We get it.
We hope Go busy 6th.
So come and add your voice to the frank and open discussion and express your opinions. Executives of the party will be there to answer any question you may have. Don't forget that you can become a volunteer and can serve on any of our committees or teams that include National Executive, Constituency Executive, Constituency Representative, Youth Arm, Women's Arm, Security Team, Events Committee. We really would love for those of you who are PEP members to come and give of your time, give of your experience, because we know that a lot of you are professionals out there and who can contribute to the success of the party. The Progressive Empowerment Party is different from any other party.com. Just click on join and fill out the online form. We look forward to having you become a member. As we close, I'm going to ask Sarah, Felicia and Anthony to give their closing words. Anthony.
Thank you, Janice. Trinidad and Tobago, once again, thank you so much for tuning into the Frontline tonight, and I extend great thanks for both Sarah and Felicia for being here. It was a very phenomenal show, and yes, of course, we ran out of time as usual because it's just so bloody much to talk about. There's so much to fix, and you know, again, it's not enough time to do it in, but soon enough we will make this happen. 2018 is going to be a really phenomenal year. A lot of things are going to be rolled out. A lot of things are going to be happening on the PEP's end, and we are shoring up some foundations that's being created right now. So we are going to be a very strong rock on this island that no one is going to be able to move or shift, because we are standing strong on bringing betterment for every citizen of this country, and we insist on having the level of transparency and accountability that is deserved by the citizens. It's just our mission, PEP, that's what we say. So on the 6th of January, because last week they had me saying all kinds of dates, but it's all good. But we're sure now it's the 6th. So the 6th of January, start that right now, Felicia. 6th of January at 19 Stanmore Avenue. We're going to have our meetings at 12 noon. That's going to be reopened to the public once again. So I would insist, please come down. You have ideas, you want to see what's going on, meet the executives, and have your say and put your 2 cents in. Listen, we have a big change basket, and there's a lot of change inside there, so we need your change to contribute towards that as well. So once again, Trinidad and Tobago, thank you very much. I'm Anthony Defoe, alongside my lovely host, Janet Levon Creaky. Janice. That's right. Anyway. Yeah, Scotch.
Name, Janet. Who's Janet?
I didn't say Janet. Did I say Janet?
Yes.
I said Janet?
Yes.
I need Scotch right now. I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
Felicia.
Janice. And sorry, y'all, thanks for having me on the show again. I think I love this show. I love this show. It's really nice to discuss, and the best part is that we don't just talk, we actually have solutions. The Progressive Empowerment Party, we're here to stay, we're not going away, we're just going to get bigger and better. 2018 today we had a meeting, myself, the deputy of the party, together with Philip, and we actually discussed 2018 for the party. It looks very exciting, big things coming, and as always, it's about empowering the people. Get on board. You may not have all the information, but this is the place where you come, you open your mind and you learn, and you join a party that actually has the interests of the nation in mind, a party that actually cares for the people. I think that is one of the things that differentiates us from any other party, and I say that with no remorse. We care about the people. You see it within the PB family. You see it in the executive, when it comes out in our policies. We care about the people. And if anything that you need from a government is a government that has the well-being of the citizens in mind. So again, stay tuned to the PEP, big things are coming, and thank you for joining us on this Christmas special. I had a lot of fun. And again, guys, thanks for having me.
Right, so yeah, Jay, thank you, for having me here. It was a blast, as always, when I'm here. Just to say, I mean, we are the only political office that does not have cobwebs on it. And we have people here. We encourage skepticism. We encourage questions, unlike the others. But everything is not fixed, but at least we provide a foundation and a starting point for you to actually critique and review and be a part of it. So don't think that we're shoving something down your throat. I don't want you to walk away with that impression. We continuously invite you and make ourselves available for you to actually come and be a part of it. That's what we mean by saying be a part of PEP. It's not about giving us your vote or just signing up and being a member. It's about active participation. Because none of us here, we get paid to do this. And I mean, we actually sacrifice, our Saturdays and then, our spare time and actually to push work forward. I honestly don't know what else is there to tell you, considering the difficulties in terms of time management and responsibilities that people have delays and resources. So I honestly don't know how else to convey to you that we mean what we say, and you're not able yet to click on your remote and see PEP as yet, but as they say, come 2018, many things are going to happen. So stay tuned in more ways than one, and thank you for coming and being with us, in spirit, at Frontline Studio.
My last words are, I want to categorically say to people out there that we have an executive team who manage the party. So sometimes I get questions as to when it's Philip Alexander's party. Yes and no. There is a team, and we have our say as to how we think that the party should be organized and run. What I love is the fact that there are people out there who are actually making comments who you never would have seen making comments about critical issues happening in Trinidad and Tobago right now. To post from other people, and that tells me that the message is starting to get across to people. People are opening their eyes. Certain professionals I see now are actually coming out and voicing their concerns as to what is going on in our country. So as we finally close, which we have been trying to do the last 5 minutes, we would like to acknowledge all our members and thank all our viewers. To those of you who are on the roads, please be safe, because this is the Christmas season where there's a lot of drinking taking place, and we want to be able to have you around going into 2018. So good night.
Good night.